If you believe you have a personal conflict, you're sitting in your office and you realize a client coming into the office is your brother-in-law who wants a divorce from your sister. You have a different last name, people aren't going to think anything of it. Clearly, you would have confidential information about your sister. And so that would be a conflict. It's not going to show up in a conflict check. If you have any situation that you think might be a personal conflict, then you need to tell your attorney and let them make the decision whether or not it's a personal conflict. So if in doubt, always check with your attorney. There is sometimes some confusion of what a conflict is. The fact that you happen to know a client or even that you happen to know a prospective opposing party does not automatically mean you have a conflict. If my office was representing a client suing my neighbor, I may know my neighbor, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have a conflict. If it's a neighbor that I just kind of know and say hi to and wave to, but I don't know anything about them, I have no confidential information. It is not a conflict. It may not be a comfortable situation. Maybe my firm doesn't want to take the case, but it is technically not a conflict. Now, if I'm friends with my neighbor and I talk to them and we do things together, now it's a very personal relationship. That is more likely a conflict. It is more likely that I'm going to have information about them that may be relevant to the case. It also may just be a situation where technically it's not a conflict, but it's just highly uncomfortable, and your attorney does not want to take that case. So sometimes things look like a conflict when they're not. Sometimes attorneys will decline to take a case when it's technically not a conflict, but because they feel that there's going to be something compromising in there and it's going to impede their ability to do their case. So there's a lot of factors that are involved and whether or not it is a conflict. I had a student several years ago was hired by a personal injury law firm. One of the first things they did was have her go through all the list of all their clients and opposing parties. And if she knew anybody, she was to check them off. And then they did not have her work on any of those cases. Now, she only knew their clients. Technically not a conflict, but they felt more comfortable with her not joining in and working on those cases because her relationship with these parties was very different than the relationship you have as an attorney and paralegal with a client. Technically not a conflict, but not a situation that the attorney wanted to put them in. So again, as I said earlier, one of the nice things is you don't have to make the decision whether it's ultimately a conflict, but take that information to your attorney and let them decide if it is in fact an issue.